Hi everyone, hope you all had a great week. In this week's report, we'll check the lake levels and see where the fish were biting. Pete took a trip to Providence Portal last weekend and took some great pics to share with us. I spotlight a well-visited hill in Cooma. There's the weather, lake visitor pics, and more. It's great to see Lake Eucumbene continuing to rise this late into the season. The lake up another 0.3% this week. Tantangara Dam also rose slightly, 0.2%, and is back to just over 10% full, and Lake Jindabyne remains steady this week at 77.5%. Good to see lots of anglers out on the water during the week. Conditions remain tough at times, but some great fish were caught. Edgar caught this big brown from the bank last Saturday evening up at Seven Gates. The fish taken on worms and was 57 centimetres long. Great catch, Edgar, and thanks for sharing with us. Anglers Reach local Vic had a great Thursday morning, landing this big brown from the bank on worms. The fish was 68 centimetres long and weighed an impressive 3.32 kilos, or 7.32 pounds. Vic adding the last 6 weeks of fishing have been very slow, with him only landing a handful of smaller fish around the 40 centimetre mark. Great catch, Vic. Matt and party have made the annual pilgrimage to Lake Eucumbene for almost 30 years. The group fishing around Anglers Reach, landing some nice fish, mainly on mud-eyes and a few on the troll. Matt added it was the windiest week he's encountered in some 28 years and the toughest fishing overall for many years. Glad you managed to land a few, Matt, and see you again in 2026. Tiny spent Monday afternoon fishing down at his favourite part of the lake at Anglers Reach. Tiny saying conditions were initially tough, with a gusty 45km/h westerly, a shower, and even some sleet. Although I bet you're still in your thongs there, mate. Conditions did ease, and Tiny landed a couple of nice trout. The baby rainbow, caught on chunky cheese power bait, went back to swim another day. The big brown had a few yabbies in it and was lunch for Tiny on Tuesday. Here's Tiny.
So you gotta love this big lake of ours. Look at this, truly God's country. Couple of fish today, just for the doubters. Tucked up at the back of Wattledale, down at the opposite side of the markers. Look at it now. Like 2 hours ago, it was blowing, mad westerly, sleeting. Now, we're just sitting here. Might be having a quiet jack or two, and just waiting for another ring-a-ding-ding.
Darren caught this big brown from the bank at Buckanderra last Tuesday on worms. The fish was 69 centimetres long, and though Darren didn't get a chance to weigh it, he estimates it was around about 4.5 pounds. Darren adding that overall the fishing was a bit slow, but he did manage to land another couple of browns just under this size. Great catch, Darren. Brent and Kobe braved the elements on Friday afternoon. Brent adding despite the weather, Kobe managed to catch this lovely 49 centimetre brown on a flat-lying Tassie. Great catch, Kobe, and judging by your smile, you enjoyed every minute of your day. Lake Eucumbene regular Mick, along with John and Helena, spent Thursday's nice weather fishing around Wainui Bay near Buckanderra. The group landing some lovely fish on Lofty's Chandlers from Tassie and a few other Tassies. The next day, Mick and Tash took a trip to nearby Lake Jindabyne. The pair landing a few more nice fish, including a rare double hookup on both downriggers. I bet that was exciting to see. Mick also posted a short video of Tash with her big brown.
Lovely big Jindabyne fish.
Thanks for sharing your day with us, Mick and Tash. Ruby fished all Sunday at Buckanderra, but didn't catch a fish. Ruby adding the wind was very keen, with large gusts making fishing difficult. Ruby's post to the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group generated a lot of comments, including Brad, who said, "Who cares about the fish? What a view." Michael said he'd been fishing there for 7 days and had only caught one fish. Adam replied, being there without a fish is still heaps better than a day at work. I can't argue with you there, mate. But my favourite came from Myro, who said he was relieved because he sees all the fish pics being posted to the group page and was thinking he was the only one that couldn't catch them. Well, I can assure you, you're not the only one, mate. Thanks for sharing with us, Ruby, and I hope you managed to land some trout during the rest of your trip. Brock took a trip to Seven Gates last Saturday and had a very productive session. Brock landing these fish, all rainbows, from the bank using worms and sherbet power bait. Thanks for sharing with us, Brock. A few video reports ago, we saw some of Darko's great Boss lures. This week, Matthew posted some pics of just a few of the fish he's caught using Darko's specially designed trout lures. Matthew adding they're all he uses when fishing for trout these days. Every one of Darko's lures is 100% handcrafted and made to perform. If you're keen to grab yourself a couple, reach out to Darko via the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group or at Boss Lures on Instagram. Last week, Jim shared one of his favourite damselflies with us. Staying on the theme, this week Jim shared this adult damselfly, and it's very realistic looking, Jim. Jim added when the fish are leaping out of the water and taking these mid-air, the fishing can be exciting, if not a bit challenging. If there's a decent breeze, skating one of these at an angle to the breeze is a lot of fun. Jim saying even though the success rate isn't always high, it only takes one to make it very rewarding. Thanks for another great tip, Jim. Pete took a trip up to Providence Portal last Sunday, the 16th of November, and took some great photos of this popular spot. On this day, Lake Eucumbene was sitting at 44.03%, and Pete estimates the portal was flowing at about 25% of capacity from nearby Tantangra Dam. As you can see, it was a cracking day, and Providence Portal was looking as pretty as a picture in the spring sunshine. Given the time of the year, it's unlikely the lake will rise much more and actually start dropping quickly, so if you're planning on taking a boat up for a fish, you should do it in the next couple of weeks. Great photos, and thanks for sharing with us, Pete. In this week's local spotlight, I take a look at a very well-known and visited spot right in the centre of Cooma, Nanny Goat Hill. Nanny Goat Hill is an historic lookout point offering great views of this lovely mountain town and the surrounding landscape. Its history is linked to the early European settlement, being once part of an area known as Royalside. On top of Nanny Goat Hill, which is 850 metres above sea level, sits a bronze nanny goat sculpture by local artist Chris Graham. This replaced the original concrete sculpture erected by the Rotary Club of Cooma in 1960. Whenever I visit Nanny Goat Hill, I'm reminded of the times back in the 80s when I was playing rugby league for Cooma. If we'd had a particularly poor game the week before, at training, we'd been made to do a lap of the Cooma Showground, then past the Snowy Mountains Hydroelectric Building and up to the top of Nanny Goat Hill, and then back to the showground. It was quite a punish, and these days I'd have enough trouble just walking up the hill. Nanny Goat Hill is a stop on the historic Lambie Town Walk, which I might spotlight in a future report. If you haven't been to Nanny Goat Hill before, next time you're in Cooma, follow the signs from Massey Street and enjoy the view. A bit of a mixed bag of weather coming up for Lake Eucumbene next week. Showers, rain, sunshine and wind will all play a part, with Wednesday looking particularly wet. Sunshine dominating in towards next weekend. Temperatures ranging from 24 degrees on Tuesday to a cooler 16 degrees next Thursday. I love this pic posted by Anglers Reach local Julie Egan. It's a pic of her hubby and my great mate Tiny in his element and living his best life. Tiny and Julie live only 400 metres from the water's edge and are blessed to be able to wet a line pretty much any time they want. Keep living the dream, guys. Lake regular Ricky was back at Buckenderra during the week. He posted this great pic of his yak that he had just steered over from Buckenderra. Ricky adding he had an entertaining trip across the bay with the wind. Ricky saying despite the conditions, the yak is very sturdy and the small battery motor helps. Ricky also took some great drone footage while he was away. I really love seeing the lake from this angle. It gives a great perspective and showcases the vastness and raw beauty of our favourite lake. Thanks for sharing, Ricky. We've seen a few things from Tiny in this week's report already, but I couldn't go past this great shot for Pick of the Week. It's so Lake Eucumbene. Tiny took the pic on Monday the 17th of November and captured it as just another tree, but so peaceful. Well, I disagree, Tiny. It's more than just another tree. It's one of the thousands of old trees scattered around the lake that give Eucumbene its unique character. The tree is just 400 metres from Tiny's home in Anglers Reach. A beautiful capture, Tiny, and thanks for sharing with us. A few people watching this video might relate to this week's fishing meme. When people ask me what age I started fishing, yes, that's me back in 1966. Well, you'd think I'd be much better at fishing after all this time. Well, that's a report for this week. I hope you found it useful. As always, I'm happy to take on any feedback or suggestions. And don't forget, if you're looking for more information on Lake Eucumbene, check out the social media channels. There's the website, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be notified whenever I put new videos up. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, tight lines, and bye for now.